Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. K. Pushpa, Postdoctorate Assistant Professor in Sociology. Now we are discussing about Women Liberation Movement. The Women's Liberation Movement fought for women's freedom and equality in the 1960s and 1970s. The movement included diverse groups and ideas, sparking debates on leadership and organizing tactics. Women's liberation was linked to other social justice movements like Black liberation, sharing similar roots. The women's liberation movement was a collective struggle for equality that was most active during the late 1960s and 1970s. It sought to free women from oppression and male supremacy. Meaning of the women movement. The movement consisted of women's liberation groups, advocacy, protest, consciousness raising, feminist theory, and a variety of diverse individual and groups actions on behalf of women and freedom. The term was created as parallel to other liberation and freedom movements of the time. The root of the idea was a rebellion against colonial powers or a repressive national government to win independence for a national group and to end oppression. Next one is the parts of the racial justice movement of the time had begun calling themselves the Black liberation. The term liberation resonates not just with independence from oppression and male supremacy for individual women, but with solidarity among women seeking independence and ending oppression for women collectively. It was often held in contrast to individualistic feminism. The individuals' groups were loosely tied together by common ideas. Although there were also significant differences between groups and conflicts within the movement. Next, what is meaning of the women liberation movement? The term women's liberation movement is often used synonymously with women's movement or second wave feminism, although there were actually many types of feminist groups. Even within the women's liberation movement, women's group held differing beliefs about organizing tactics and whether working within the patriarchal establishment could effectively bring about the desired change. Women liberation versus radical feminism. The women's liberation movement is also sometimes seen as being synonymous with a radical feminism because both were concerned with freeing members of society from oppressive social structure. Both have sometimes been characterized as threat of men, particularly when the movements use rhetoric about struggle and revolution. However, feminist theorists overall are actually concerned with how society can eliminate unfair sex roles. There is more to women's liberation than the anti-feminist fantasy that feminists are women who want to eliminate men. The desire for freedom from the oppressive social structure in many women's liberation groups led to internal struggles with structure and leadership. The idea of full equality and partnership being expressed in a lack of structure is created by many with the weakening power and influence of the movement. It led to later self-examination and further experimentation with the leadership and participation of models organization. That's all. If any, again, we will see the women liberation movement in the next class also. Thank you.